Hey everybody, I want to introduce you to our latest sponsor, Salt Electrolytes. Feeling depleted after a tough grappling session? Well, Salt targets your depleted electrolyte levels with a boost of hydration and health. It gives your body the baseline recovery it needs. Salt contains 6 different electrolytes with a touch of iodine to help maintain a healthy thyroid. No sugar, no dyes, no bullshit. Go earn your salt. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the BJJ Foxcast. I am your host, and I can't hear myself, Alex Martinez, without Tojo today.
Good.
Life is good, dude. Life is so good without Tojo.
Is it true it's because he's pro-cancer?
He might be.
I heard that.
That asshole might be.
That it would figure.
Yeah. So this is really weird because I can totally hear you guys and I can't hear myself. That's so weird. Anyway, life is good without Tojo. So I'm here with Colin Opper and Bill Walker.
Hi.
Hi.
How about now? Can you hear yourself now?
Hello? Yes. What'd you do?
Don't worry about it.
You touched my shit.
Don't worry about it.
You touched my shit.
I fixed
Sabotage.
your wiener.
Sabotage.
Call me Cialis. Because I just fixed you.
Which one's better? Cialis or how many are there?
From my research,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just take them all at once. It's like Skittles. So just
Yeah. If you smash them and snort them, I hear that's like the way to go.
oh, you hear?
Anyway, I'm here with Colin Opper and Bill Walker for our 3rd annual Movember episode.
Movember.
Yes.
Trailblazer.
I think I might have a like a little clappy thing. I don't know. I never programmed it.
Oh, people are laughing at you.
Whatever. So anyway, I think this is important. I know we kind of shit on it and we laugh about it, but you didn't shave.
Yes,
Did
I
you shave?
Yeah.
That's how much it's grown so far?
Shut your mouth.
I'm a man.
In a day?
Wow.
It's
No. Friday.
yeah.
I am less than a man.
I'm so less than a man.
It's the northern Wisconsin. You got to grow as much facial hair in the wintertime to save your face.
Dude, that is like Mexico. That is like Mexico stash.
I'm going on 3 months.
Are you really?
Didn't shave yet. I was actually just going to do that and be like, yeah, guys, I'm just working on it.
You're not going to win a contest with that one.
No, I'm not.
Wow.
But I'm still an honorary member of the Mustache Riders.
Are you really?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm technically a co-founder.
No shit.
Yeah, up in Seattle, when a jiu-jitsu tournament comes along,
Yeah.
typically everyone that's competing, man and woman,
Yeah.
grows a mustache.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And we roll in like a team. Like, you know,
Nice.
Daisy Fresh, they got the unis.
Yeah.
We got a uni.
Wow.
And we call ourselves the Mustache Riders.
Wow. There's a lot going on with Daisy Fresh these days.
You know, we can get into it maybe in a little bit.
In a little while.
Yeah.
In a little while. I forgot my drink. You guys talk.
Okay. Colin, I don't know you.
Colin?
Yeah.
Bill?
We've met once,
Yep.
twice.
Twice.
Yeah,
You were late to promotion.
I was. And
That's my thing.
that old
I'm the late guy.
dirty bee that just walked out of the room decided to call the whole thing out in front of everybody.
I know.
He's very prompt, is what I noticed, because we showed up maybe a minute after 2, maybe 2 minutes. Could have been 10, maybe 15. But either way, he was already into his speeches. Everyone was sitting in a line.
Yeah, he was.
And he goes, "Oh, Bill's late."
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Gamey in here.
Gamey?
Gamey. Last time we did 3 hours and 40 minutes. Whew.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
Dude. I was swampy at the end of that one.
I've done a few long ones.
Have you? That sounds really bad. I'm just saying.
I'm so proud of it.
And that was the first time I got gonorrhea.
Right. So let's talk about what
Never had
Movember is.
gonorrhea.
I know we say this every year,
Yeah.
but
It's worth repeating.
yeah, I might have 13 listeners now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got
That new one.
Yeah. We got one new one, so
Okay.
we got to
I'll talk to
bring them up to speed. So talk about Movember a little bit.
Movember is a charity that started off in Australia. It started off just a bunch of guys, kind of like the Mustache Riders.
No kidding.
Where it just started as a bunch of guys saying, we just had breast cancer awareness. Prostate cancer is one of the leading causes of, or one of the highest cancer.
Mortality rates?
Yeah.
Or is it a rate?
Not rate. It's
Things that dudes get.
Yeah.
yeah.
Bad things for guys.
Yeah. But they said we can't wear a ribbon.
Okay.
We're not going to wear a bracelet.
Okay.
Let's grow out our mustache.
Okay.
And that's going to be our symbol.
Right.
And that's all they did. They just grew out their mustache. And how many people came up to him? Why are you growing out a mustache?
Yeah.
What the hell is that? Oh, it's because, we're bringing awareness to prostate cancer. A few years later, they became a recognized charity in Australia. And they just kept on growing and growing. Now it's international. They have offices in Australia, London, Toronto, and LA.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And Australians never call anything by what it is.
Yeah, we were talking about that today.
We were talking about that today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a mo.
It's a mo. So the
Growing your mo.
You're growing the mo.
That's what they call a mustache?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
What Nazi stuff is that?
No, it's just a mo.
We were talking about that. Like, you want to grab some Mackies?
What are
What's
Mackies?
that?
You want to go to McDonald's?
Oh, geez. Okay. Okay.
Rub-a-dub-dub?
Wow. I hate them even more.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Let's go to the pub.
Okay. Okay.
You're just making child rhymes now.
That's what Australians do. I don't.
Amazing.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, then, okay. So it started out as prostate cancer awareness.
Yep.
Right. Now it's just like general men's health.
It's everything. It's prostate cancer is still one of their main focuses. Testicular cancer,
Yeah.
which is I believe it's the leading cancer for men under 30,
Yep.
and then men's health awareness.
Yeah.
is another focus of theirs.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a buddy. I won't say his name because I don't know. I don't want his kids getting
HIPAA
pissed off. Yeah.
violation.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I got a buddy who he and I worked together, and I was in sales and he was in operations. He's what we called a project engineer. I don't even know why they call him that, but most of them were engineers anyway, so it kind of matches up. But like we would completely sell a garbage project, and then we'd hand it over to them and be like, "Hey, fix this, right, and execute." I'm serious. That's the kind of the way it worked. And there's a lot of factors as to why. But when you get plans and you're like, okay, you make a project based on those plans, and then the customer sees like, oh shit, this is going to cost way more than what's in my budget because the architect who told them, oh, this much, blah, 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 budget for this. So that's what they did. And they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, right? They're not, whatever. They're not in every industry, so they don't know. But anyway, so then they call it, oh gosh, there's a term for it, but it's stupid. But they engineer a lot of stuff out, right? And then during that process, it's like, I don't know, we're going to do this, we're not going to do that. But the plans don't exactly change to match what we agreed upon, So that's in writing, so that's what we're doing. And then we hand it over to the project engineer. He's like, this is shit. This doesn't match, right? So anyway, so he did that for a while, and a lot of those guys become salespeople. And he became one of the most, one of the best sales guys we had. Anyway, fast forward a few years, we ended up working together again at another company, and he ended up leaving that company because our boss was a prick, and he decided he's not going to work for anybody. He's going to open his own business. And we're like, so what are you going to do? He's going to open a consulting business. And we're like, okay, right? So he had a lot of connections, a lot of, sales is like, if people become your friends, you're doing it right. Mm-hmm. That's the way I see it. Unless, the business, it is what it is. But, anyway, he had a lot of people that wanted him to succeed. So, they helped him. And he had a lot of high-end clients that wanted him to help them. And one of them is out of Kirkland, Washington. Mm. Yeah, big one.
How about that?
Yeah. So, anyway, he had this awesome business. He loved to mountain bike. And he would do those downhill mountain bikes, but he would do like a helicopter takes you to the top of the mountain and you ride down, that type of shit.
Yeah.
So he had some money to do that stuff, right?
Rich guy stuff.
And yeah. So he decided he had all of these ideas for bicycles, and no one was really delivering on it. So he started a mountain bike company, and had 2 kids that loved him, had a wife that loved him, and he took his own life earlier this year. And this is a guy that had the world by the balls, and he had depression, and he had guns, and he lost the fight.
That literally did not go the direction I thought it was going to go.
Right.
On that story.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So we're doing the 60 rounds in 30 days, and I'm dedicating it to him because
What is that?
So in our academy, we have 2 things going on simultaneously. We have a submission bingo.
Okay.
and you can win, as many bingos as you get a ticket to put in a hat, but all of the rounds have to happen on our mats, right? So you're welcome to join, all right, in the submission. I wish you would.
And they could be white belts or...
Especially white belts.
You got to look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day.
Bro.
We had one guy come up. We had one kid in our kids class. He trains with the adults. He technically could do the kids class, but he's as big as you.
Well.
And he comes up, he goes, I got a bingo. I was like, that doesn't count. Like you did that to 5-year-olds. No shame, by the way.
But I can do the fundamentals class.
100%. Yeah. Tear their asses up. No, it actually has to happen in a round of, at least 4 minutes. Right.
Okay.
And we have the submission bingo. And every time you get a bingo, you get your name in a hat, and then we're gonna draw a prize. I'm gonna go big. We're gonna have good prizes.
Like a new car or something.
Okay. Not a new car. No, I'm not gonna go that big. I'm gonna go big for like a 12-year-old.
Okay.
All right, like Hot Legos, something like that. But we have that going on, and also in recognition of Movember, we're doing 60 rounds in 30 days. Okay, so bingo, 60 rounds, but you can't collect on your bingo if you don't do 60 rounds.
Oh, it's just 60 rounds total in the whole month?
In the month.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh, okay.
No problem. But some people don't train as often as they should. So my hope is when they participate, number one, they get their rounds in. But number two, they recognize like that they're aware of, what month it is. And
do
what we're
rounds
trying
with Tojo count?
Yes, they do. Yeah, as long as they happen.
Should they count, though?
They shouldn't because he sucks.
Rest round.
Yeah, rest round. Yeah. Actually, if
that's where you get like the more complicated submissions. Like
yeah, that's where you're just gonna rack
Twister.
up a bingo in one round.
Oh, Twister, Executioner.
I'm so glad he's not here to defend himself. This is fun.
Well, if he was here, he barely defends himself.
That's true. That's true.
It's normal.
So anyway,
but the reason why it's 60 is 60 men commit suicide every hour of every day around the world.
Yeah,
there's one a minute. So Movember is pushing, again, to improve health, is to walk 60 miles in 30 days. But we're going to make it more jiu-jitsu-y.
Jiu-jitsu-y.
I feel like you guys pulled me on the wrong podcast. I am like not a serious guy, and this is serious stuff.
Well, I mean, you can make light of serious stuff.
I'm trying to in my head.
Yeah, you can try.
But Olivia's over here shaking her head. Shut your mouth.
It's a charity about growing out your mustache. So it's not 100% serious.
I have so many butt jokes, and but we're talking
throw
about
them out.
suicide.
Yeah, throw them out.
I can't.
No, okay, we finished the suicide.
Okay,
now but
it makes sense.
Yeah,
the 60 thing is cool.
But it makes sense. Hey, come on now. We're just poking around. That's all we're doing. We're poking.
Cialis, a little poking, a little bit of man butt.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good awareness, and also just gets people to kind of like goals to train more and all that kind of stuff.
Well, improve. I think my generation, which is older than you guys, am I a generation ahead of you? It's 52.
You got to at least be 2.
At least 2. Yeah. But it was like almost like a dishonor if you go see your doctor.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Oh, you're getting your blood work done, you sissy.
I think that's even in. I'm 41. I think even in my
to be 41 again
in my circle, it's pretty normal to be like, just put a cold steak on it and that lump will go away.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's scary, right?
Yeah. How old are you?
45.
Yeah, so we're all kind of in this
in that circle.
And I just, me personally, I just put everything on the back of my stuff on the back burner because I got 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
a dugout day. And so it's just like, they need to go here and here. I don't have time to go. And statistically, men don't go. I mean, it's not any it's specific generation. It's all generations of men.
Well, there's that huge thing of if I don't go, then I just don't know.
You just don't know. Yeah.
Then it doesn't really. It's not real.
Yeah, but that's not just exclusive to men. Like there's women like that as well.
Yeah,
just
talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about Amy.
Yeah. Well, Amy, she hates going to the doctor. She hates it, and I hate that she hates it. I kind of like it. I feel like I'm doing I don't know. I feel like I'm doing the right thing when I get my blood work done or when I talk to my Dr. Neil Morris over at AZ Health or AZ Restore Health AZ. Sorry.
Thick fingers.
Awesome guy. Thick fingers. Yeah. He's a jiu-jitsu guy, of course. Yeah. Knuckles upon knuckles. So great dude. Played football. So yeah.
Okay.
Just saying. Anyway, but now great looking too. Should I just keep going about Dr. Neal?
Yeah.
Yes. Send me his profile.
No, he's a great guy, man. He actually he comes into the academy periodically and he'll do like checks and stuff for people.
that's
And
cool.
yeah. I mean, it's really cool. Anyway, but I feel like I'm doing right by my wife and my kids just because I'm getting my blood work done and getting checked out.
I'm due for a colonoscopy, actually.
I am too. I am too. Yeah.
When was the last one?
I haven't had one. I gotta have one. Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's
You're
not.
52?
I am.
Bruh.
I'm due. Yeah, no, I'm past due.
Chris, so shameless plug, can I do that?
Yes, of course.
I have a podcast
Yeah.
with a fellow black belt that's also a physician. That's
Yeah.
kind of like the big thing is he's a doctor, a practicing doctor, and his wife's a naturo. And like a big thing is it used to be like get your colonoscopy at 50, you know, your digit check and check your prostate.
Yep.
Honestly, guys, make that 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they switched it to 45 in the literature.
Okay.
But just do it at 40.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason that a 42-year-old or someone's just hitting 45, let's say, goes and does their check and they find something when they could have found that thing at 40, 41, 42.
Yeah.
And you would have been way ahead of it.
Yeah.
It just, with unfortunately how our diets are, whether you typically think you eat clean or not, you just do it.
Nachos and chicken wings.
I mean, for sure.
They're clean.
Yeah,
I mean,
why
they've been-
not?
Yeah, they're fried.
Do you want to plug this?
Salt?
Oh, it's one of the best electrolyte
Bro.
beverages I've ever
Salt,
had.
this-
salt is legit.
What brand
bro.
is this? Is that the Salt brand?
Yeah. Salt Electrolytes is a new sponsor
I love it.
out of Idaho.
I'll try some.
Fantastic. Shout out to Salt Electrolytes. Riley, thank you for everything. But
yeah, like a lot of the.
Use code Foxcast15 if you order some.
Is that 15% off?
15% off. Yeah.
Libya. But yeah, it's talking with Chris and stuff. It's there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
There's not like besides having a dude's finger in your butt or a woman. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Besides that uncomfortable part, and then obviously a colonoscopy isn't the funnest thing to do.
Mm.
You just do it.
I'm so struggling with butt jokes right now. Sorry.
Butt
I'm
jokes?
sorry.
Oh.
I can't.
Did I tell you about my
Seriously.
colonoscopy last time?
No.
Okay. So.
Oh, yeah, you did. Let's hear it again.
Well, I talked about the doctor putting his finger in my butt, and then like he made me clean myself up, and I thought
Yes.
I shit myself.
Yes.
But did I talk about the colonoscopy?
No.
So I got a colonoscopy. How old was I? Maybe 30? 35? 4 or 5
years ago.
Yeah, 35-ish,
Okay.
maybe. And because I've had gut issues, and my mom has Crohn's, so it's like I can, susceptible to that. And so I go get that. And usually they just put you under, right? Lay you on your side because it's a little bit easier for how the guts are going. Yeah. And for some reason, I feel like they didn't give me enough gas, like the knockout stuff. So I'm just sitting there on my side, and there's a big like kind of TV that has the little camera that's what the doctor's looking at.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, just kind of watching. I'm just waiting for this gas to hit, and I'm looking at the TV, and there's 2, maybe 3 nurses, and then the doctor. And as I'm sitting there looking at the TV, I just see like remember when you were a kid and they're playing Airplane?
Yeah.
Open up wide.
Yeah.
That's what I was seeing, but it was my butt.
Oh, no shit.
And I see the camera going towards my bare ass.
And you couldn't move.
Which, can I just say, as a grown man, we don't have nice butts.
No, we don't. We don't.
I feel like I'm kind of in shape too, and it's a humiliating pose.
Yeah. Just full disclosure, every time I go bathroom, I want to jump in the shower.
Like
I
after?
just don't feel right. Yeah, I don't feel right. Like
Yeah.
there's furry. I can't get it clean.
Well, I think it's probably a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Is to shower after.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
which is can I divert for
Please.
a second?
Yes, please.
Something that made me so mad during the COVID times and all that was when people would rush to the grocery store and steal all the
toilet paper?
The toilet paper.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is the lowest hanging. Like, you don't need toilet paper.
You don't need it. No.
If you have running water,
You're good to go.
you'll get cleaner than the toilet paper.
Yes. Yes.
Am I like?
Well,
it
they also
drove me
didn't
nuts.
understand when they said it was flu-like symptoms.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think they understood what the flu is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. that whole thing was a little goofy.
So I had a thing that I thought could unite the entire country.
Oh.
I thought that we could go to Costco after everything was like, quote unquote, back to normal, right? And shame all of the people bringing back the toilet paper
Yeah.
that they overstocked.
Did people bring it back?
I don't know. They probably tried.
True.
And Costco would freaking take it.
Yeah.
Costco would take back fruit. Who the fuck does that?
They take back Christmas trees.
I didn't know
You
that.
can buy a live Christmas tree in November.
Yeah.
Have it in your living room until March, and be like, oh, here's the receipt.
Yeah.
Bring back the.
They'll give you your money back?
They'll give you your
They
money
give
back.
you your money back.
Oh, shit.
They take anything back.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what my mom used to do to the Christmas tree when we get it? She'd throw it in the pool.
Oh, what?
I swear to God, it was the fucking craziest thing. My mom would take the tree and throw it in the pool for like an hour or two because she said it lasted longer because she got it, like she would soak it.
Oh.
Yeah, she was
Like
serious about her
some
fucking tree.
Voodoo stuff on
Yeah.
a tree.
Yeah, and then we'd have to pull. She wasn't gonna pull it out. I'd pull it out, and then you just stand there and shake it, right? Shake the water off of it, and then she'd put it in her thing. Her bowl for that holder was legit, dude. It was like a giant bowl full of water and whatever thing she put in it, and that tree would last, dude. It would last a while because she would get it like
Kind of worked.
1st of November. She would get it.
Respect.
First of Movember.
Movember. Thank you. You know what? She should have grown a mustache.
Call back.
You know what I mean? My mom should have grown a mustache. Too late now, but
Would've been
whatever.
good.
Yeah.
So as I see this camera, which it's like a hose almost, right? Because I gotta get up in there.
Yeah.
I'm watching a movie and I see my own butt cheeks,
And you're not supposed to be awake.
I'm not supposed to.
Right.
And they insert into my rectum.
Yeah.
Right?
Damn near killed him.
Okay. I was gonna say that. Sometimes I mix up the front one to the
Right,
back one.
right.
I don't need a camera going up the front.
Urethra.
Yeah. And so they're going up the old pooper, and then they happen to notice that I'm not asleep once they're already in there. And I just remember this nurse going, "Oh, look at that. He's watching." And I just remember that, like,
Yeah, can we change the channel?
yeah.
I don't like this movie.
Yeah, and they're like, there's the little nodules that they gotta like clip off and like test to make sure. Polyps, not nodules.
Polyps, yeah.
Are we good over there?
We're good. We're good. Sorry.
And but yeah, they like kept. So then it became a conversation that I'm just like watching, and then I just start giggling. But then when you giggle, you kind of like pinch.
Of course.
So now the camera's stuck in my butt.
Oh,
You can't get it out.
get the
What about that? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So is a camera like a thicker end than what they're holding?
No, it's like this cable, right?
Yeah.
It's literally like it's just like this.
Yeah.
And a little stiffer, like because
Yeah, sure.
it's like one of those snakes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's and then they get up in there. I don't know how far in they go.
And you could hold it. Good for you.
I could walk out the door with that thing.
I can't imagine they go any farther than like the large intestine, right? I mean, the colon, right? Just the colon. I can't imagine they go like all the way.
Yeah. Live?
Anybody? Anything?
I'm pretty sure it's a large intestine.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were in there for quite a bit. So, and then like it's kind of odd because, they tell you not to drink red Gatorade with the mix. Otherwise, it looks like blood in there potentially.
Yeah.
So I drink yellow, but you can see like the yellow in there.
Yeah.
So that's even weirder.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got a pretty clean
Good to go?
beehive. Yeah.
There you go, man. Nice. Good for you. Have you had one?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
really
I
should.
commit. I will schedule mine, and I will
Good.
schedule it and have it done before the end of December.
It's very scary.
Yeah.
Because the same thing of like what I don't know is kind of relieving.
Yeah.
But like, for example, I had the polyps in there. So when they see that, they're all negative, which is good, but they're still there.
Yeah.
So that's when they're like, well, even though I got mine at 30 something, they're like every 4 or 5 years, every 3 years, they're like, come back, get checked.
Yeah.
And if you're someone that like you're clean as whistle, you don't have any polyps, sweet. But if you do, you want to know, so then you can get those regular checks. So if there ever is one, you can address that.
Yeah.
Right. And for example, let's say there is one that is cancerous or something like that. Maybe it's not devastating or something like that, but very early, it's good they're going to get that out.
Yeah.
But also, to like do certain things with, for example, your diet right out the gate. Like, for example, processed sugar is like gasoline for cancer.
Wow.
It's like a steroid.
Yeah.
So if you have cancer, that's one of the things. If you do like a Gerson diet or something, which is like one of the natural ways that people will address cancer, it's zero sugar.
What's a Gerson diet?
It's like a person's name, a doctor's name.
Yeah.
And he made the diet. Liv, do you remember what a Gerson diet entails? So we knew someone that actually put their cancer into remission with it. And there's a bunch of stories of that. And it works pretty well. It's one of those things where they tell you have to do chemo and you have to do this, and this, but there's been a lot of people that have had success with literally lifestyle change. So, but it's something, that's why you should get something going sooner than later, especially if you're in that 40 and up as a dude, and you'll save.
Yeah.
You're already committed on the podcast.
I'm committed.
I want your butthole results on the table.
Well, let me ask you a stupid question. Are they able to tell if a polyp is cancerous just by looking at it, or they have to go in and get a sample?
They got to clip it, send it out.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, maybe okay. Maybe they can just tell like visually. I don't know though. Like maybe it's so swollen but the thing is you can even have a tumor that's benign.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So that's why I think they actually have to cut it out and.
They remove all polyps because all polyps could turn into cancer at some point.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. So Olivia's saying that they actually, if they come across any polyps, they would just remove it right there because inevitably it will essentially turn into,
Wow.
So, yeah, because I do remember they had the little arms in there too that would like clip and stuff
no
like
kidding.
that, and then they sent it off to test. Yeah.
Oh shit, that's scary.
Yeah, it was pretty scary, and now it's like that's why I'm like 5-6 years without getting one because I'm like, am I gonna go in there and then they're gonna like
they might, they might.
Those things are back, and they're a little scary.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's.
And you can go in there and like talk shit. Like I'm an expert. I watched my last one. Yeah. I know exactly what's going down.
I didn't even go under. You guys tried to give me that IV, and I just unplugged it.
You're gonna want to take a left right there.
Yeah. Don't worry, I've been here before.
Trust me.
I know where you're going. Don't worry.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, man.
I do jiu-jitsu.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Guard puller.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things, man. Like I started seeing a psychiatrist for a little while. Really cool lady, Sue. What I liked about what she was teaching me was like she was giving me like little just tools on how to handle shit, and it helped a lot. It helped a lot.
Like mental tools to handle stress.
Just cueing what's setting me off, and then kind of keeping track on what my response is, and then we could work on tools on how to change my response because it's not really what's happening to you, right? It's your response to it.
2 questions.
Yeah.
What's one thing that really would set you off?
Your mouth.
Like these?
No, I'm just kidding.
In and around your mouth.
No. So it's different emotions for different things, right? So I was.
Well, what's like a big one that was like you knew you had to work on?
Well, for all intents and purposes, I was going through a divorce at the time. I was basically breaking up with my business partner, right? And then the biggest one for me at the time was insecurity. It would hit me like a truck. It would keep me up at night.
Like imposter syndrome kind of thing?
No, not really. Not really. That came with my black belt.
Sure.
That came way earlier. No. It was like we lost a lot of students, or I lost a lot of students.
Insecurity of being able to like continue your business.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like, well, what did I do to wrong them that they wouldn't even tell me that they're leaving? They just split,
Right.
Little things like that.
Sure.
So that was a big one. It wasn't a whole lot of anger. It was a lot of insecurity. It was a lot of, like you said, imposter syndrome, stuff like that. And I didn't know how to handle it because I'd never experienced that before. I'm like, fuck, dude,
Well, and that's my lead up question is, so, okay, that's one of the things that was huge for you that you were battling.
big time. Yeah.
What was at least one thing that helped you through it that maybe Sue or helped you with or kind of gave you a tool?
Yeah.
What was one of those things?
Well, the first thing she helped me with was don't bury that. Don't pretend it doesn't exist. Right? Acknowledge it.
Oh, we're good at that.
Yeah. I'm the best. I grew up with that.
Put that thing in a box and throw it in the ocean like Jacques Cousteau.
But that's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter
Always
how
do.
well you package it, you still have to deal with it. It's going to manifest one way or another, right? And she helped me understand that. Like when I blow up in traffic, it's not the guy that cut me off. I mean, that's 2 seconds of your life, right? There's a lot of shit building up to that. But she helped me just acknowledge, okay, this is happening. And then, okay, this is how I'm feeling about it and how am I reacting to it? Am I overeating? Am I drinking alcohol? Am I yelling at Amy? You know what I mean? Things like that. And I actually wrote a bunch of it down. And then she's like, okay, so number one, feelings aren't good or bad. They just are, right? That's cool, right? Okay, understanding that. And she says, the first thing that, like, for me, what I try to do when I feel something is stop feeling it, right? Stop being pissed off, right? Stop being scared. Stop being this. You got to kind of go through it. Instead of just stopping, just go through it. Understand it, acknowledge it, feel it, and then kind of figure out how to deal with it in a much more productive way. For me, it was like, okay, so it was very, how would you say it? It was a very practical. I was very practical about it. Okay, so I lost 5 students this week. All right, that sucks, right? Okay, I feel insecure. I feel a little angry. I feel a little hurt. You know what I mean? Because some of them I spent time with them, and they were like friends.
Colored belt that's been around a bit.
Yeah, then they're friends. You know what I mean? Like every time we do something like outside of the academy, they were always there. We laugh, we joke, we drink, hang out, and they just ghosted. And some of them left like kind of shitty. You know what I mean? Yeah. So okay, so I have to acknowledge that. So what do I do? Okay, so I have to replace 5 people. So I go right back to more marketing, more this, more that, and it's kind of my way of coping with the situation. I kind of detach myself from that emotion by working harder. Yeah. And then I get 5 new guys. Magically, you get 5 new people, right? And then I had a academy owner from the West Side who is he's always been really good to me. He's not a very popular guy, but he's always been really nice. When I opened my academy, he sent me like a long message and hey, I know you do well, stuff like that. So I reached out and
it goes a long way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So people know, like, it goes a long way.
Yeah. Yeah. And he kind of told me, it's like, when you're making, this is like off that subject. It's like about just making decisions that are good for the academy. He's like, if you go outside of that, if you stop making decisions that are good for the academy, then you're going to be the only one standing on those mats in a very short period of time. Because if you start worrying about what Colin thinks or what Bill thinks or what that person thinks or how this, schedule change is going to affect that one person, I probably shouldn't do it because I don't want to lose them. He's like, you're going to be the only one standing on those mats in 5 years. That's it. That's the way it's going to happen. So if you make decisions that are good for the academy, the right people will stay.
Right.
And you just have to accept that the right people are going to stay. And once I started thinking in those terms, like they just weren't the right people.
Well, that's when you get rid of that feast or famine mentality. That's like, I think I've talked about last time. I'm really into cross training. Yeah. I'm a bit of a nomad. Like I always had my home gym. Yeah. 100% committed, all that. But I like to cross train. Yeah. And when, like, Andrew, my professor up in Seattle, he didn't say no to that or ever. He never like blinked at it. He's a 4th degree, so he's old school. Yeah. And he came up he was GB. So it was very different. And I do think I might have stretched him a little bit, like his comfort zone, because he's had his academy for like 15 years, like he's been through it all. He's been screwed over by students. He's been screwed over by people like opening gym, like all that kind of stealing, all that kind of stuff. So he's been scarred. So there was some hesitancy, not to like, quote unquote, allow me, but just for him to be comfortable with it. Yeah. But then as like we would talk, it's if someone is going to, and I treat this, like I take this into inventory myself, because I hope to have a gym one day, is if someone's going to move on because they like Alex's teaching more than mine, or they have a 6 a.m. rather than I only have an 11 a.m. or whatever it is, they have amenities like a shower, they're going to leave no matter what. You are not going to keep them for an extra 3 months or 6 months. Like, they're going to go. So don't, like, tailor your whole thing around that person. If they're going to go, they're going to go. And it's going to be a better fit for them too. Yeah. And you should just allow it.
I know we're getting off subject, and I apologize. Colin, please chime in. Please chime in anytime. Yeah. But no,
we're chatty Cathy.
If I could offer someone who's at an academy right now, like say a young black belt who has aspiring to open their own academy, if I could give them a piece of advice,
Talk to me.
if I could go back and do it again, number one, I probably wouldn't take on a partner because I'm very hard to work with. I'm a ready, fire, aim kind of guy. I'm not afraid to fail. And if somebody's like risk averse, they're gonna fucking hate me, right? So, but that's one thing. The second thing is, I probably would have put up a barrier, like another barrier of entry for anyone who wanted to come with me. Even though I'm 14 miles away, people live on that part of town. You're like, oh, you're about halfway, so it's no big deal.
Sure.
I looked at it from a very, very narrow focus where if I have this many students when I start out, I can pay my rent, right? And it strained the relationship with someone I loved. I fucking love Paul. Right? But I was thinking very narrow. And it strained our relationship to the point that the only reason that we have a relationship is because of his good graces. It's only because Paul just, I don't want to say he brushed it off because I know there's part of him that probably is still a little pissed off at me.
Sure.
But our relationship is solid. If I call Paul tomorrow and I'm like, hey man, I'm competing at whatever, I really need you, he would be there. Like he's that kind of guy for me.
Right.
And, it's not like I tell Paul, hey man, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. No, it's, hey, I love you, man. And I go. I almost ruined that relationship over that narrow focus. And out of let's call it 20 people, I don't remember, but let's call it 20 people that came with me. Guess how many people are still training with me?
That's
3.
Yeah. Right.
3. And it's not because they left to go other gyms. They just quit.
I don't, if you're comfortable talking about this.
Yeah.
When that happened, obviously you're saying you were very narrow focused. So you're I assume you're thinking like, okay, I got this nut that I have to make to pay rent. You had another job at the time.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, you're accounting for that. Like, okay, I got my other job, which will help, but okay, these 20 people have shown interest with coming with me. That's what I need that. I need that. And then you almost get clouded.
Yeah.
So instead of in that moment of having clarity towards like, you know what, let me talk with Paul.
Yeah.
Or if it's another black belt, like the person that you're leaving or splitting, which wasn't necessarily a surprise, I assume, but it's one of those things where you guys are like, there's a moment of clarity where you can be like, I'm just going to like go to him and then we're going to talk about it and be like, hey, these guys have shown interest for one reason or another. They like your vibe, convenience, whatever the case may be. Because some people are just going to prefer to train for whatever, who knows what the reason is. Yeah. But do you think if you took a step back, that would have made all the difference and then you would have communicated right out the gate about that?
Yeah. And obviously Paul's not going to be happy,
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I think
just like you lost 5 students, and it sucks, it hurts, it stings, even if it is in a amicable.
Yeah, polysyllabic.
Even in that scenario, it still will sting.
Yeah.
They're going to a sister school, if you will, because you guys are part of the same association, and obviously lineage and everything, but it still will hurt. But it's uncontrollable a little bit on your end because we're also like we're paying, coming from a student perspective. Yeah, it's a business. Still paying you a due, and then you give me knowledge or a place to train.
Yes and no. So if I'm offering you a service, like I'm your bug guy, that's a very commodity service. We have no connection whatsoever. In jiu-jitsu, it's different. Totally. You have a personal connection with a lot of people.
Totally.
So although I don't disagree with what you're saying, I'll add another component to it. There was an insecurity on my part that I probably, in my heart of hearts, didn't believe I could pull 20 people.
Right.
And
then you saw the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's some people that want to join.
Yeah. And it's a boost to your ego, like, and you can justify it another way. Well, I'm the 6 a.m. guy. They only go to 6 a.m. I'm their coach. Okay. Sure. Okay. You can justify that.
Sure.
At the end of the day, I almost ruined a 10-year relationship,
Yeah.
and I have 3 people to show for it.
Right.
Yep. And I love them. They're awesome.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
And they know who they are. But the reality is, like, I did the wrong thing, and I wish I could go back and do it different.
And maybe we already touched on this. How would you have done it different?
I would have added another barrier to say, hey, you have to give Paul, say, 3 months, and you have to sit down and talk to him face to face before you just jump ship. You're not going to quit out of the blue on him. You know, just that one little barrier, and then, you know, give Paul the opportunity to put like a stud, like Tojo. You know, he threw him at 6 a.m. and he killed it.
It's weird that you said stud and Tojo in the same sentence. That was
Well, I didn't mean
cringe.
he is a stud. I'm saying like you could have found a stud or Tojo.
Big word there.
Yeah.
Or. Okay, keep going.
But he murdered. I mean, he murdered at the 6 a.m. and maybe that would have been enough to be like, you know what? I'm happy. I'm good. You know, we got this guy. He's good. Because before I took over that 6 a.m. class, there was a lot of instability there. We get a coach for a few months, and then you leave, and then another one.
It's very common, I think, in the morning and midday classes. Is it can be like that until you find a good fit that lasts a long time.
Yeah.
So that's one thing Aries East Mesa has done.
What's that?
It's good solid foundation.
Good solid foundation. Yeah. Especially at that 11:30.
Oh. Handsome, knowledgeable.
It's basically Brad Pitt. So the ladies can't come in too often because they get a little distracted.
Yeah, it's a little distracting. I get distracted.
Yeah.
Show them the hairline. Let them see the hairline.
No thanks.
My wife is in here, so she's got to step out first.
For your sake, I'm going to keep the hat on.
Attaboy.
Thank you.
Attaboy.
I haven't cut my hair in a while. I'll show it.
Let me see.
Look at that Caesar ring.
Bro, that's...
George Costanza is wetting his pants right now. Look at the symmetry.
That's actually very symmetrical. I love it. And you
Shut
got a
your
little
mouth.
you got a little thing on top there.
Oh, I got a little Homer Simpson?
Yeah,
a little fuzz. Olivia likes to rub that at night.
I'm sure she doesn't.
Yeah. Well, I'm sweating now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I try to.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all the hair on my head.
Attaboy.
That makes sense. Especially the 3-month thing. I think that from just being cordial is, you know, in giving that opportunity. And so up in Seattle, we had it wasn't a sister gym as in like Aries kind of thing.
Yeah.
But one of Andrew's black belts was teaching at a gym. He left and then they replaced him. But even in that scenario, that a lot of students didn't like the replacement.
Yeah.
So we had this influx, I want to say like 10, 15 people that were willing to drive a lot farther.
Yeah.
But even Andrew was like, hey, you got to go to them and like talk to them.
Yeah.
You know, same with, you know, Greg Anderson. We've talked about him before. He's a stone's throw away from us, 15 minutes away. And oddly, we would like, some people would leave their gym and then start at ours or ours to them. Yeah. And it's the same thing. Make sure you talk to Greg. Yeah. And Greg would say the same thing. We had a really prominent competitor, kind of like a Sierra or something, like someone that like really is on the comp scene. They have high aspirations that was on our team. And they decided they wanted to live in their car. And they were like, as in like a overlander kind of thing.
Okay.
Like they bought a truck and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a very Washington thing to do, right?
It is.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And this guy, Greg's gym, his checkmat school is on a huge plot of land that's his private.
So cool.
It's got a house on it, and then he just graveled it, and there's a huge CrossFit facility that's like 4,500 square feet, and then the gym is 45 in a separate building. Yeah. Just pole barns.
You had me till you said CrossFit.
Yeah. It pays the bills, though.
Yeah.
That thing's like, what, $250 a month or something like that?
CrossFit's, I shit on it, but I've tried it. It's fucking hard.
Yeah, well, and it's the group fitness.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So they got two things going on there. But even so, this guy, he decided he was going to switch, because Greg was like, "You can just park on my parking lot, use our showers," and he was like, "I have to take this.
Yeah.
This is just awesome." Because then he's just there for training and stuff. So he had to switch, but Greg was like, "You ain't doing it till you talk to that man over there." You know. Yeah. And just for students, started to go off on a tangent. For students, if they say that, do it.
Yeah.
don't
lie.
Don't dilly-dally and just don't do it, but then don't bring it up to him.
Yeah.
Because we actually had that.
Yeah.
And the guy talked to me
Mm.
because I was like Andrew's kind of right-hand man, you know, like Andrew was the owner and main professor, and then I was like this kind of second teacher guy. And he talked to me. And I thought I told him well, make sure you talk to Andrew as well.
Yeah.
And he never did.
Oh.
And we didn't find out about it till a month or two later, like a long time later. Greg didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
And it left a bad taste.
100%.
It
Yeah.
legit left it, even though they didn't have to.
Yeah.
So, and I'm one of these people that's like all about the Creonche lifestyle, like cross train, all that. I'm not like a traditional dude, but there is a way to do things.
Yeah, of course.
Which is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm the type of person that, like, if I hurt your feelings, it'll fuck with me. Like, I will be up at night going, God, I wish I wouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? And we're talking like 2 a.m, and I'm up. I mean, I'm not going back to sleep.
Well,
you know?
it hurt my feelings when you submitted me the other day.
I did not submit you.
I
fucking
think
liar.
you need.
I tried to hit you with a chair, though. I
apologize.
wanted to hit you with a chair. Like, I wanted to hit him. Like, with not a foldy chair, the one with the, you know, rigid thing. It fucking hurt.
And then he tried lifting any of his two.
I couldn't do it.
Was
I couldn't
strong
do it.
enough.
Couldn't do it. But there was one day, I was sitting on the couch downstairs, and I have this anxiety. I'm like freaking out, and I'm like, you know when you wake up and you've been out like drinking or whatever, and you wake up and like, God, I gotta apologize to that person. I really fucked it. That's the feeling I had. Like just this anxiety, and it was because of what was going on with me and Paul. And I look at my watch, it's like 9 a.m, and I'm like, I know he's in the academy, and I know they're cleaning right now. So I drove over, and he did not want to see me. I walked in, and I pulled up a chair right in front of him, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to leave until we talk.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did, and we laid it out. That was the toughest conversation I've ever had in my life, man.
Because I'm just probably like shakes and like flushed. And
I was ready to cry,
Yeah.
you know, and I just laid it out for him.
Because you had to eat shit a little bit.
Of course I got to eat shit. But after that conversation, that's where I put up that extra barrier. Like, hey, you know, you're going to give Paul 30 days, and you're going to sit down face to face and talk to him. You're not going to fucking text him.
Yeah.
You're going to talk to him.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So I felt a little bit better about that, but still, like I said, man, you know, if I could offer some advice, that would be it.
When you guys naturally going to deal with that?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are close technically in proximity.
Yeah.
Close-ish,
Yeah.
you know, close enough.
Yeah.
Because, yes, I think you told me that your area of interest is typically around, like your marketing interest is about 7 to 10 miles.
7 or 8.
Yeah, that's kind of where you zero in at.
Yep.
But there's going to be plenty of people that drive further than that, you know, us included. We're, I think, 35 miles away from Paul's and however far from yours.
Yeah.
And, you know, we pass a lot of gyms it just naturally. So there's going to always be that little bit of like, oh, someone was going here. Well, now their schedule changed and they want to do the 11:30.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, I like Colin's teaching and Paul's is at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to switch. You know, there's just naturally, you guys are always going to deal with that.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So having those little new rules or something like that, I think is probably pretty beneficial.
Oh, absolutely. And there's plenty to go around.
Yeah. Yes.
So there's no need to poach.
Which
or
is something that
bullshit.
is really big because that, like, all boats rise kind of thing rather than feast or famine kind of mentality. I've noticed with you and Paul is ever since I showed up, which has been like 3 months now, and I've said from the very beginning, at some point I hope to open a gym.
Yeah.
And both of you guys you didn't look at me with a side eye. It wasn't like protect. Now, you know, I think I came forward and I was like, hey, I'm not going to talk about, you know, to like while I'm at the class and like, you know, I'm not going to be planting seeds. Hey, you know, I like your teaching style. Yeah. Well, put that in your pipe because.
Are you going to have an 11:30 class?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Already?
Yeah,
already. You fucking asshole.
But
11:35.
Right, 11:35.
Listen, he was 10:30. I moved it to 11:30 because he was always 5 minutes late, and he's still fucking late to 11:30.
It's called a lifestyle. He's a Brazilian.
I warm up in the car, right?
I hear you. Yeah, that makes sense.
But you guys, you you guys treated me very nicely about it. And I would say even yourself, I said this to Andrew. I told him about this, and I was like, dude, I told Alex, and when we were talking about like covering, because I just covered for a week, and you were like, dude, I think you would kill it in the Gilbert Queen Creek area, which is like where we're looking, is that south kind of area. That's plenty of ways from you guys, but for you to even just hint at that rather than, put a leash on me and say, dude, I don't think you should train here very much, because that's a normal response.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Hang on. We lost 2 cameras. Oh, got something back. Hang on.
Were they going at all?
Stand by. Yeah, they were.
Because there's only that red light.
No, I got something. Oh, no, it's only, that's the one that's on us.
Oh, okay.
So that's the one that's always going to be lit.
Mm.
That's interesting.
That's lit.
Yeah.
Is this getting cut out right now?
No. Hell no.
We're going to keep this
We're
in?
totally keeping this. We're good now.
Oh, okay.
We're good now. They're back.
But my point is, like, your guys' mentality towards an outsider, that, my thing is, I'll always promote cross training.
Yeah.
I told you guys, I might even do like a Wednesday where we're closed, and I promote that. If you, obviously, the cool gyms that I'm cool with, like you guys and Paul, like I'd be like, hey, is it cool if my guys come on a Wednesday?
Yeah.
And make sure that's cool. And
Yeah.
And push people to experience other gyms, experience other teaching styles and stuff like that. Experience Colin's day class, because I know that's such a benefit to me that I think it'll be really good. And I'm a big community guy.
Yeah.
I'm more about the jiu-jitsu community as a whole than like my patch necessarily.
Yeah.
Right. Because I think it's so beneficial to kind of be like that instead of being scared.
Yeah.
That, which you were in the beginning, right? You were freaked out that you wouldn't be able to get 20 people. Then once you got 20 people, you were like, oh my gosh, I can't let them go anywhere.
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome, scared, but all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we got to damn near 200 in like 8 months.
That's pretty freaking insane.
Yeah.
Because I'm in your mode where I have the vision of a gym,
right,
but it seems so far away. And I'm like, 20 students. I'm like, dude, getting 20 students seems crazy, because it's like if you have a class where you have 20 students, you're like, okay, but then what?
Yeah.
Where do the others come from?
Yeah.
It's like,
man. It's
kind of a daunting thought process.
And here's the thing, like, you want to, at first, like, our schedule had way too many classes in it when we first started, but we weren't paying ourselves either, so who cares, right?
Sure.
There's 2 of us teaching all the classes. But we would have I'd do my fundies class, which was the biggest class, at 6 p.m. And then we'd have the mixed levels class at 7. And everybody's like, good night. Really? Everybody's leaving? Yeah. And then you'd have like one guy stay. Like, oh, shit, you want to just roll? Yeah, all right.
Why? So I come from a gym that didn't do fun. Like Andrew and I had always talked about experimenting with like a fundamentals and then advanced after.
Mm-hmm.
The main 2 reasons we didn't is, one, by the time advanced starts, it starts to get pretty late. Like you're getting into 8 o'clock, 8:30, and we'd like to do class and then just open mat rolls after, where people can either continue drilling, just bullshit and have camaraderie, or just spar. But it's pretty dang late at that point. We're talking about 8:15 that we're starting that.
Yeah.
So time-wise, starting class at 6 was really important. Number 2 was the camaraderie piece, where fundamentals, typically almost all white belts, maybe a blue, a purple might, or
out of shape purples. Out of shape purples always go to fundies.
Yeah. And you might get an advanced belt or something like that in there, a colored belt. But for the most part, it's all your white belts.
Yeah.
And then your advanced class typically is going to be all your colored belts, and then maybe some of the white belts end up joining there. But you end up having this fracture where the white belts don't know any of the colored belts, which the colored belts are your culture.
Yeah.
So all your culture building guys never meet your noobs, and that was kind of a conflict in Andrew's mind. So
that's one way to look at it.
What makes you like the split class scenario?
So I look at my program as a progression from 0 to 10, right? So you start off, you walk through the door to inquire, that's 0. right? We sit
Because
down
you're
and
very
talk.
organized when it comes to
Yeah.
onboarding.
Yeah.
Kind of like Keenan, Cornelius, and
Yeah.
Legion. They're very organized about onboarding new students.
If you look at the top companies with the best culture, they have the best onboarding.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just say, "Oh, you're qualified? Cool, man. Okay, I'll see you in 10 years."
Mm-hmm.
You know? No, they onboard you the proper way. Very few companies do it well. So I'm not saying I'm doing it well. I'm just saying I have a process.
Sounds like you're saying you're doing it well.
Yeah, pretty good. No, I'm just kidding. So then we sit down and talk, and we talk about the programs that we have. It's not like, well, just come in and try it, and maybe in 2 weeks you'll love us, and then you'll sign up. No, I lay out the programs. I rarely have somebody wanting a free trial class or multiple free, maybe one. You know, but what the hell are you get out of one? Yeah. Nothing, right? Yeah. So I talk about the programs. Let's say they join our 6-week intro. When they start the 6-week intro, they get like a cheapo gi, you know, a little karate gi that they get, the one that you almost ripped. How dare you?
Can't do judo in those.
Can't do judo.
Just saying.
But it's just enough to get them through that first 6 weeks, right? Yeah. While they're doing the 6 weeks, I'm kind of letting the cat out of the bag here.
Which I will say, that guy that wore the entry level gi.
Yeah.
I said something to him. I was like, bro, we got to get you a jiu-jitsu gi. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, they gave it to me. And I was like, oh, I know. That's part of it, though. I was like, this just shows the quality of the jiu-jitsu gis.
Yeah. So then they go into the fundies class, and they're like, hey, why are these guys wearing a different gi than I am? Oh, they're already signed up as members, right? And in their head, I want them to think, I can't wait to be a member.
Right.
Right?
It's like a little trophy.
Yeah,
almost.
it's like a little trophy. So I got that from, like, when I joined the military, right? I showed up to my recruiting office, and they're like, hey, you're going to rule the world. Lie. And then I get on this bus, and then I go to this place, and they put me up in a hotel. I'm like, I'm staying here for free? That's kind of cool, right? Do all the medical stuff, and then they fly you out to go to boot camp, and they shave your head, and they give you go through, and they do all, like, they measure you out, and then they hand you sweats. Blue sweats, say Navy on them, right? Boom. And a little stocking cap, right? It was August, but it was Illinois, so it's not, you know. So, but then, have you ever seen the old Navy uniforms, like the back in the day Navy uniforms?
Tan ones?
Blue shirt with bell bottom jeans.
Oh, like the baby blue almost.
And the 4 back pockets. This thing had 4 back pockets.
Yeah,
I swear to God, 2 back pockets here, 2 back. Hideous. I couldn't fucking wait to get them because then I'm in. Like, I'm in, right? I'm part of a company.
Right.
Right now, I'm just some freaking, kid that just showed up, and everybody knows it because I'm in this outfit, right? So then you get that, and then they make you, back in the day, they would make us button our top button, which means you just started. And I'm like, I can't wait to unbutton this fucking button. I'm serious. Like, I can't wait to do it. And then when you do it, like, hey, motherfucker, I've been here 3 weeks, bitches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like your first stripe.
Yeah, it's like your first stripe. Exactly. So it's a progression. They start from 0, walking in, like, and here's the worst part. When I first started jiu-jitsu, it was like, here's a loaner gi, here's a belt, good luck, right? And I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I was hooked in no time. But then I start, and I'm like, well, that guy looks kind of new, right? And I kind of gravitate to them. And then, well, that guy kind of looks new. And so we kind of work together. And there were some classes where it was like the advanced class, right, that I could come to, which I had no business being in.
Right.
And it was just, I swear to God, it was me, a 240-pound fat kid, and Janine. Poor Janine might have weighed 90 pounds. And we're the new people, so we got paired up together because nobody else knew us. And I'm pouring sweat onto Janine's face, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's like, no, it's cool. And, but you know what I mean? So the process that I follow is we do a new student orientation, and there's 10 people in the room, and they get to know each other, and they stand up, and they say their name, and why they're here, and what they want to get out of it. And then we introduce ourselves as coaches and owners and, accountability coaches and all that. So day one, they're like, dude, how's it going? I remember you from orientation. And they're a little bit more comfortable doing that. I didn't want people to have that same feeling that I got, like, oh, fuck, no one's stopping me. I guess I'm going to stand over here, you know? So that's kind of why we do it. And it's like that extra step that we take that fucking pays off, dude. It fucking pays off.
Interesting.
And the only gap we have is that new student orientation is just for the 42-day trial. I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate that into a new student in general orientation. Like maybe once a month, have some food, bring everybody in and be like, hey, this is what we're about. Yes, those of you who've been here 30 days, you're awesome, that kind of thing. But I got to figure that out.
And then someone transferring from another school, they can jump in and...
Yeah, I mean, they kind of know the deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're
Especially if they're a colored belt.
yeah, they're not uncomfortable in that situation.
Yeah.
It's more like, is this going to be my tribe or not?
Right.
You know, that's what they're
Right.
looking for. They're looking for that tribe.
Vibe and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
That's what I went through. I came in as a purple belt.
Yeah.
Mm.
What was that?
Couldn't wait to choke you out, dude. I could not wait.
I get that a lot. You're still waiting.
Yeah, I guess.
But no, one thing, because I didn't come from.
Where'd you come from?
I came from Milwaukee.
Mhm.
So I trained I started 2005 under Henry Matamoros, and there was no black belts in the state of Wisconsin. And there was no
But
fundamentals
back
class.
then too, yeah.
Yeah. Henry was the first eventually. But it was just one class. And it's just, and that's how I always knew people. I would say, you're just going to get your ass kicked for about a year, and then you're going to catch somebody in a submission, and it's going to be the greatest feeling in the world.
It is.
And then you're still going to get your butt kicked.
Yeah.
But it's going to like slowly, and then you just look for like the new guys in the rounds. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the fundamental program, one thing I like about it is, I mean, there's people that do it 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like a good foundation of jiu-jitsu. So when they start coming to the mixed levels class, they're not starting on square one.
Yeah. So I have people that'll do like 3-4 weeks in fundies, and they're like, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I
There you go.
assure you, you're not.
Right.
But, okay, cool. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. I want you to explore that for yourself, right?
Mhm.
This self-expression is huge, is really big for me.
Yeah.
But I had a guy, one of my purple belts, Corey. He was in the very first Warrior Challenge. He might have been the first guy I sold.
Mm.
And I was like, really? I mean, yes. Yes, of course. Of course you want to do this, right? But Corey did the program, and he did all 13 weeks twice. 13 weeks of the fundies, he did it twice. And then when he got in mixed levels, I was like, hey, so how'd it go? He's like, I wasn't lost.
Yeah.
That's good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but that's 6 months that he did, right? He did 26 weeks of fundies, and then when he got to mixed levels, he was good.
Do you spar?
We do situational.
Okay.
So part of the
Yeah,
reason
same thing. Yeah.
part of the reason I do that is because I want to keep these guys healthy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When I started, I was injured within like a month,
Mhm.
and it was a pretty decent injury, and I had to take. I don't know why I came back,
Yeah.
but it was a pretty decent injury, and then I got hurt again,
Yeah.
and you know what? I only got hurt by white belts.
Yeah.
It
I
was
remember
like
I went to Brian Johnson's, and it was like, okay, I'm signing up. My buddy Aurelius was going there.
yeah,
And I was white belt, and in the first week, I got, I think, Kimura or Americana, one of those, by another white belt, and the guy just ripped on it,
yeah,
and he blamed me for not tapping,
yeah,
and I was done for months,
Yeah.
I didn't even train again for 8 years.
yeah, yeah. The dude, we were kneeling, right, like 2 white belts.
Mhm.
And I think I grabbed him over his shoulder, and then he rolled, and when he rolled, he pulled my arm through, and I landed really hard on my shoulder, and I dislocated something here. I heard it pop,
Yeah.
and I was out for 30 days. 30 days I couldn't roll. I couldn't train. I was in pain. And then might have been same dude hurt my arm. Like he was just big. He was a big native dude, and he was just like super strong, and you just didn't know what he was going to do. He was like spazzy, like dangerous spazzy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And got hurt twice by him. And then, I mean, there's just a series of injuries. And I think if you train people, teach them how to fall properly, teach them how to tap, because a lot of people don't understand that,
Yeah.
just little things
That's
you
a
can
big
do.
one.
Yeah.
That's a big one when you see the noobs in the, first month
Yep.
of just drilling, and you're like applying an arm bar in a drill.
Yeah.
And they're like not tapping. They're like, ah. You're like, bruh, buddy.
Yeah. Don't make me be a bad guy
Just
here.
tap their body.
Yeah.
Not your own.
Right.
Also.
Yeah. Or they're like this and they're tapping the mat.
Yeah,
Like, he
yeah.
doesn't know you're tapping the mat,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah.
And our face always works.
Yes.
You can verbally tap.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Some of the best, I feel some of the best advice that I ever got was the higher belt is going to match your intensity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you go ham, just be ready. Just be ready, because they're going to fuck you up. They're certainly not going to they're not going to, how would you call it? Like, endanger themselves to save your ass. No way. Like you're going down.
I had that conversation with one of your white belts.
Did ya?
I don't know his name.
Oh, you told me about this.
Oh, yeah.
You
'Cause
told me about
in case
this.
he got, maybe he listens, I don't know. But I wasn't sure how his mentality was.
Yeah.
And if he was going to like go to you and be like, hey, that visiting black belt, he's kind of a piece of shit, huh?
Well, he didn't say that, but a lot of other people. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Bill, yeah, whatever.
He's normal. And I matched his intensity, and he kind of made a comment in the middle of the roll. And I was like, well, man, you got to loosen up a little bit, man. I'm just going to match you.
Yeah.
And then I pulled him into, like, I think spider guard, and he tried to blast knee cut through my crotch and give me a prostate exam with his knee.
Yeah.
So, of course, I have a great sense of humor, and matched intensity again, then again and again.
Yeah.
And I just told him after, because then I get self-conscious, because I'm like, did I do a little too much? And then I'm like, hey, I'm not that big of an asshole usually. I literally said that. I'm not that big of an asshole usually, but if you try to put your knee through my dick, then I'm going to address that.
You got to protect the dick.
Yeah. And I literally said all that word for word. So if he is listening, he knows who I'm talking about. But it was just matching intensity.
Yeah.
And I tell me what you guys think. Being a 5-stripe brown belt, being a black belt.
Yeah.
5-stripe, right? Or is it
5
6?
stripe.
It was 6.
Okay.
I took one off.
You gave it to another person.
Bummer.
I remember that. Very
Bummer.
generous.
Yeah.
And is when you're applying that intensity, do you feel bad?
Let me tell you what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I will do the same sequence over and over and over just to let them know that I can.
I like it.
Yep. Throw them in my guard, scissor sweep them, get them out, pressure the hell out of them, and arm bar them. Shake hands, put them in my guard, scissor sweep them, mount them, pressure them, and arm bar them. I will do it over and over and over again just so they understand, like, this can happen anytime I want.
Right.
I go back to when I was the spazzy white belt. And my very first.
Were you on that side of the spectrum? You were like the spazzy guy?
Well, my very first class, I got.
Wait. Let me ask, how big were you when you started? Because I was 240 pounds.
See, I was probably.
Hey, easy. You
carried it well.
Yeah, these are working now.
I was probably under 2 because I just got done playing soccer and rugby, so I was a little bit leaner.
So he was a college athlete.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, 6 year, but whatever. I mean, we're not going to count. We're not going to count how many years he was in
I
college.
did second grade twice,
All
so
right.
Yeah.
we're the same.
But
he's basically a doctor.
so yeah, a friend brought me to an open mat, and I had a wrestling background, so I figured I'm just watching. I'm like, I can do this, and my friend Ryan said, "You're gonna go with Barb." Why am I going with
the best?
Why am I going with Barb?
Wrestler, college athlete goes with
Barb.
And I don't know.
So you know how I picture Midwest Barb? Is she like that?
She was Austrian.
Oh, okay.
By the way,
okay.
too. Thick accent.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just kind of a blur what was happening. And all of a sudden, it was probably like a scissor sweep, and she just grabs. And it's not gi, it's just no gi.
Yeah.
She just pins my shoulder down. She's like, "You need to calm down." I'm like, Ryan, I don't know if I'm welcome here anymore, man.
What belt was she?
She was a purple belt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a big deal. Yeah. Shout out to Barb for whipping his ass.
I wonder what she's up to, and I hope she's with it. But I try to be Barb.
You try to be Barb?
I try to be Barb in that situation. It's like, look,
yeah,
just loosen up a little bit.
Yeah,
that's great. You tried that move you saw on YouTube, but it's not going to work on me.
Yeah. I think it's the gorilla gripping that really kind of sets me up. For some reason, when there's just a grip that they're holding on to for as hard as they can, but it's like a dead grip, like it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But it's just enough tension to kind of be annoying.
Yeah.
It bothers me.
Yeah.
So bad.
Really?
I don't know why.
Huh.
There's other things they could do that they could smell bad. And that doesn't bother me as bad as if they just have a grip and like they're just holding on to it for dear life.
Yeah.
just for some reason, I just, and they don't know any different.
No, but yeah.
But I don't,
Yeah.
just some certain little things.
That's petty.
Yeah.
I find that petty.
Oh, I'm high level petty. I am high level petty. I just posted a thing on Instagram that remember No Country for Old Men?
Oh yeah, great movie.
Yeah, Segura, the bad guy.
Yeah.
The serial killer.
The guy with the coin flip.
Yes.
Yeah.
In that scene,
Yeah.
he goes, "Don't put it in your pocket, because then it's just another coin." And he gives him the look.
Yeah.
And so it's a screenshot of that moment. And it says when the new spazzy white belt wants to roll with the wrist locking, neck cranking brown belt. And I was like, this is me. This is my life right here. I know what you are.
Yeah.
You spazzy monkey. I am going to do mean things to you and your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your soul will feel me.
Yeah. There was one time I came home to, and Amy was, "How was class?" I was like, "I have no leg hair." I mounted a white belt and he proceeded to grab my legs and rip the leg hair off of it.
Oh.
I have no leg hair anymore. I was screaming.
We call that at 11:30. We call that the eagle claw. when you go for like a sleeve grip or a collar grip, and you just get meat.
Oh
there,
yeah,
that's the eagle claw.
meat.
That's where you got it from.
Yeah,
11 a.m. guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
A little
no
squirrely.
leg hair. Oh my god. Yeah,
So-
that was rough.
Question about the Movember stuff. So are you?
Oh, going back, I love it.
Yeah, good segue.
Do you because I feel like you're quarterbacking
Movember. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, sorta.
So
I
do
mean,
you work in that world?
I don't. I started. God, it was about 17 years ago. My dad was actually diagnosed with prostate cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and I had no idea what prostate cancer was, other than only guys can get prostate cancer.
Sure.
So I'm just doing the Google research, and how treatable it is,
Mm-hmm.
and the options, that sort of thing. And then I just saw this article about how the U.S. men's rugby team was growing out their mustache for prostate cancer.
Yeah.
And so I just grew out my mustache. I didn't register,
Mm-hmm.
just grew out the mustache, and I saw how much it worked. Like it just, so many
People
people are
talking
like,
to you.
yeah, like, "Oh, why are you growing that dirty thing?"
Yeah.
Well, one, it's the Hungarian. It's not dirty. It's a very classy mustache.
Yeah.
But then I signed up. I just kind of registered again. It's more about awareness than necessarily raising money.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got, at the time I was playing rugby, so I got my rugby team involved.
Mm.
We happened to raise a good amount of money, and then Movember reached out to me as part of the Milwaukee Movember community.
Oh, okay.
And then when I moved out here, just trying to bring it along.
More awareness
Yeah.
and stuff like that. As you
so I am like just doing the thing in the academy. He's actually got a website where you can donate, and he's like all in.
That's what I'm wondering is
Yeah.
like, it seems like you're kind of quarterbacking a little bit of a movement, or being organized within some way. And that's what's what's the website?
Yeah, what is the website?
Movember.com.
Movember.com.
You got that?
No.
Movember is is
okay.
like a real.
I was
Yeah.
like, dang, how'd you get that?
So you can just go on there and you can even just register if you just want to grow a mustache for 30 days.
Yeah.
Sure.
You don't have to raise money. It's, you can if you want, great.
Mm-hmm.
If you raise, I think $1,000, you get a nice gift. I got
cool.
Like they put your name as like,
oh no, you get like 1 year it was a switchblade mustache comb.
but I'm saying like,
I want to switch
like they would put your name as like if they're
Yeah.
like, so you can get credit for it.
Yeah, you can.
And you got a donation already this year.
Yeah.
That's
Former C team.
awesome.
Yeah.
Former C team. All right, see
What's the C team?
his crew.
The 1130 clue.
Oh,
Yeah, because there's the A and the B team.
we had the Walker Kill Crew.
Ooh, Walker Kill
I did
Crew.
not name it. This MMA guy that was in our purple belt, Josh, he was like, "Oh, we got to be the Skywalker Kill Crew." Kind of stuck, I guess. It was either that or the Power Bottoms.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just did a. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Honor the Fallen. We did their charity golf event yesterday, and it's
Thanks for the invite.
my dude. I got invited. My buddy Wadis Cooper, who is a purple belt. He started the charity after watching American Sniper.
Oh.
So he watched American Sniper. I think he had to have been on mushrooms because this is the only time I think this deeply. But he was watching American Sniper, and at the end, Chris Kyle dies.
Spoiler alert.
And he thought, yeah, right, my bad. So he thought, like, what happens to the kids, like when the parents die? The service members die. So he started this foundation. He started this charity that donates to foundations. That is basically like if there's a camp for kids of parents that have passed away, whether they're firefighters or cops or military, like they sponsor them. So, and he started it because he was just wondering what happens to the kids after these, parents die. And anyway, so we did this golf event. He does several. He's 5K for Heroes. This was Honor the Fallen golf tournament. There's a kickball tournament that he does.
I would murder that.
Yeah. We should put together a kickball team. Come back with no hamstrings, but whatever.
For sure, a couple people blowing out the hammies.
But anyway, they're sending a couple of local kids to one of the retreats. Just with the money we're raising.
Cool.
So yeah, it's cool. So Honor the Fallen, check them out. honorthefallen.org is the website.
Is that what that hat is?
Yeah. So wanted to give them a shout out. So anyway, we're talking about your donations.
Oh yeah. And that's kind of like Movember kind of gives you free reign.
Yeah.
What to do. So, we're doing the, 60 rounds in Movember.
Yeah.
Along with the submission bingo. We've done
so cool.
We've done back in Milwaukee. We did a roll-a-thon. Just try to roll as many times as you can. I believe the record currently stands at 34 straight rounds. 5-minute rounds with 1 minute rest.
24 hours.
Just 30. Just 5-minute rounds.
Yeah, would that be?
Just go
until you. And the 34. It's about 3 hours.
Okay.
That could be gnarly. I did for my 40th birthday. Andrew made me do 40 1-minute rounds, back with no rest, and a new person every minute.
Oh, that sucks. Oh. Yeah, that sucks.
And when I got to probably the 15th or 16th, I was like, why am I trying to sweep people? I'm getting way more tired when I'm trying to be offensive.
Yeah.
And then about round 20, he starts letting the white belts come in. Because at first it was all colored belts and black belts. And then I'm tired. And then the white belts start coming in, especially the big ones that are like, I'm going to get you now, bitch. So Big Chalupa, we called him. Old Cam, this big-headed freak. He would come in and he went knee on belly and tried to pay back for the last 6 months that I would do it to him.
Oh, nice.
He was probably 250 pounds, we call him Big Chalupa.
Yeah.
And he was just riding me, dude.
I would have too.
Dog walking me. How dare you? But it was those kind of things those marathon rolls are actually it was fun. And I have a lot of stories about it.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
Yeah. When I got my blue belt, we did the gauntlet.
Oh yeah.
And so we did the gauntlet, and then Paul set a timer for 3 minutes with 1 minute break. And anyone who got a belt had to roll all of the rounds. I decided I was going to roll through the breaks. So the clock would stop, and I'd stand up and I'd grab another person, I'd pull them in, and we just roll. Yeah. That was a mistake. I was very sore the next day. Very sore the next day.
Yeah, when I got my blue belt, we did our gauntlet was anyone getting from white to blue, they had to do a physical, and it's just 30 minutes. And if you're an upper belt, you can tell them, put that heavy bag back on the hook, or or
that's a pain in the ass.
Oh, it's so
such a pain in the ass.
It sounds easy.
Yeah. It is not.
It's like a 4-man job.
Yeah.
Or it's here, hold this medicine ball. Don't let anyone drop it. And
oh God.
Make sure he drops that.
Yeah.
And then after that 30 minutes, it's 30 minutes straight rolling, no break. And then they'll just filter in people. Yeah. And I remember
pull that a little closer to your mouth.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And I just remember I'm just nauseous.
Yeah.
And I'm rolling with my friend Courtney, who's she was on Tosh.0. She was on a cage match, and she choked out a guy unconscious, and so she went viral, and then Tosh brought her on the show. But
nice.
She's vegan, and I just remember
wait, how do you know she's vegan?
Because she told us about it.
Yeah.
This is
and I said
them and CrossFitters.
Yeah.
I said, Courtney, don't worry. If I throw up on you, I think I just had toast this morning. I think my puke's gonna be vegan.
Oh my God.
She's very appreciative, I'm sure.
She
Have
thanked
you ever
me
tried to do that? You ever tried to do like vegan?
it's the worst 12 hours of my
It's fucking hard, dude. I did like 2 days and I was like, F this. I feel like shit.
I don't know.
What?
I had a joke, and I don't know if I could say it. Actually, Luis would think it was funny, but
Oh
I
my
don't know if
God.
other people besides Luis. Yeah, Olivia's shaking her head. She
I
said,
know what it is.
she said, "Don't say it." You know what's funny with
You're trying to get us canceled, I think.
I think on this one, I would just get a lot of hate,
Okay.
but then I guarantee Luis would think it was funny.
Okay.
So you can imagine where that's going.
Yeah.
So when I did that marathon kind of thing, because it's always funny things come out of those. In the 40th minute, so the last round, it was Andrew, my coach, my friend, my brother, and he comes strutting out there, and we got a video of this too, and I just finished the round, and I know he's last. I know he was waiting, so then I'm sitting on my butt, and I'm so exhausted, and I just face him, and I'm like, all right. And he just rips off his gi top, going no gi, drops his trowel, and he's wearing a full-on singlet.
Fantastic.
Moose knuckle and everything.
Yes, that is so perfect.
And he like starts coming up
No
to me.
cup. Wow.
This man hasn't seen a cup in years. Even better, he like comes up to me and he I think that's right. He pulls guard. It just open guards me
Oh my God.
like that, and he's like, "Let's go, come on!"
Nope.
Like a spider.
You win, winner.
Yep, I'll do it to you too. No, it's fine. So he's like this, and you can imagine it's a light colored singlet too.
Whoa.
It's not a dark colored. It's light blue with white innards, so I could see his innards. And,
Oh my God.
And then so I'm like screaming during the round, and then somehow he comes around and he sweeps me. Boom. And now, or no, he was on bottom. Yes, he's on top now, but he backs off, and he literally goes full donkey guard on me.
No.
And he turns around and then throws his butt cheeks at my face because I'm sitting sit up guard.
Yeah.
And he tried to almost like put his hands to the mat and then like
and walk back.
walked back. Full on, my nose touched his butthole. Straight up. It wasn't even intentional.
Ask Colin about the rash guard I bought him.
Tell me about the rash guard that this man right here bought you.
Listen, everybody told me about the rash guard.
So I've
So let me just backtrack real quick. So
Okay.
So I'm sitting at the front desk. It's it had to be I can't remember, but Taylor wasn't there, so I'm working the front desk.
Lazy.
And I'm sitting there and I'm watching the kids class, and I'm like, man, we got a lot of kids on the mat, and the coaches don't stand out, right? Because when everybody's sitting on the ground, you know. So I had parents coming up to me and being like, hey, are you going to get more coaches? I'm like, I have 5. There's 5 coaches on the mat. Like no one has 5 coaches on the mat. So I was like, no, probably won't get more. But you know, I said I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're like, oh, okay. They couldn't tell either, right? So I was like, how do I make my coaches stand out? I was like, oh, I'll get them all white long sleeve rash guards, right? That way you see the white long sleeve rash guard, they stand out. There's coaches on the mat. Awesome, right? Gives a parent, it's more optics. And
I would say I would hate because I hate white rash guards because it makes my moobs look bad.
Oh, it gets better. Hang on. So I'm at the last tournament, the last local tournament, and there's Roll Union, one of my sponsors. Love Roll Union. Paul, you're a great guy. And I walk up and I'm like, hey, bro. I was like, how many rash guards do you have? How many of those white rash guards do you have? He goes, I got a few. So I grabbed Taylor. I was like, hey, you got that list? You know, she made a list of all the coaches. And I'm like, and the sizes. So I buy, 13 of them, I guess, you know? And I'm so excited that I've checked off this box that I hadn't done. And so Monday, like we're handing out rash guards to the coaches. Yeah. Man, these guys come up to me on Friday. They're like, dude, you got to see Colin in that rash guard.
I basically look like a burst sausage.
But you could see his nipple hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kielbasa was strong.
So I learned the hard way that maybe you should go a size up in Roll Union than you normally used to.
Yeah.
And
That'll sneak up on you.
if I had if I had the matching shorts, you could tell my religion. You know, like it wasn't a pretty sight, and probably not a pretty sight for a kid's coach.
Ooh. Yeah, because then it's like basically we're all doctors giving you a colonoscopy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
nobody wears a freaking white rash guard.
Yeah.
Nobody wears them. I wear mine.
I feel so self-conscious at them, don't you? Do you?
Yeah, when you can see my nipple hair. Yeah.
Well, then you start sweating.
Yeah.
Then it's like a weird old infomercial from
Yeah.
the 90s, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
hell's going on here?
Yeah. So I walk in the other day. It's Thursday, and no one's wearing the fucking white rash guards that I bought you guys. Nobody. So now I got to think of something different. Maybe I'll do bandanas.
I could just do black.
No, all the kids wear black.
I got that nice tie-dye set from Gen X Refined.
Dude, I got to do something to make you guys stand out. But
You know, I have a similar story about I was asked to teach. Well, I was like the UK/instructor with Andrew. We got asked to teach at a mosque
okay.
and do like a self-defense thing, and I just didn't put two and two together that
Oh, no.
we're at a a religious institution.
Yeah, it's a church.
That that is, I would say, sides a little bit more on the like they really like follow the quote unquote
Very conservative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and all that. Yes, conservative, not like politically, but
Yeah.
like modesty and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I know you've seen me around the gym.
Yeah.
You a little bit, but I wear 5-inch inseam shorts, especially my grappling shorts.
Right.
These thighs are out and they're breathing and they're
Yeah.
barking. And so we start doing like very basic self-defense because this is for the ladies.
Yeah.
And then the young men. And if, some of the guys wanted to, they could. And we're starting with like, I'm on my back and just keeping someone away with your legs. Kick them in
Just
the knees,
nuts
kick
on
them in
display.
the junk. It was a side profile.
Yep.
So it was all thigh. It was all quad.
Okay.
And we didn't really think about this, but we split them up into gender groups. So one room was going to be all the girls, and it's not ladies, it's girls, but the moms would be in there. And then one group was going to be the boys and a couple of the adult males. Well, for some reason, which I blame Andrew, he is the devil. He said, "Hey, Bill, why don't you do the ladies over there?
Oh, no.
You grab them." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sounds good." And I was
Not thinking. You're just like, yeah, whatever.
yeah, what should we do? And he's like, work on just tech ups, technical lift, have your arm out for, do a little break fall, boom, tech up, protect yourself. Very basic.
Yeah.
Well, if you can imagine when you do a little tech up,
Right.
you do one of these numbers and you look at everybody right in the eyeballs
Oh, yeah.
as
Oh, yeah.
you're looking at their eyeballs with your balls.
Oh, no.
And I'm telling you, once so this is how I realized.
Wait. You had like compression shorts under, right?
I'm sure, but they were more like Vandalay Silva style or Shogun Hua.
Oh.
Borderline tighty whities.
Yeah.
So I had a solid upper thigh showing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was all out there. And the way that I know this, that I became aware that we're in a mosque and my begonias are out.
Yeah. Is
after we did like 5-10 minutes of that, and then we came back as a group, showed the next thing. And then as we go to break off again, one of the leaders and our training partner is his mosque, Ahmed, shout out. He comes up with one of the leaders. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna just have you and Andrew switch. Everything's fine. You're all good, but we just think it might be a little bit better fit." And I was like, "Oh, of course I'm an idiot." So I'm like, "Why? I have to know why." And they're like, "Well, and they were being so nice.
Yeah.
They're just like, just switch it up." Of course I prod, and I'm like, "Come on, what
There's
is
got to
it?"
be a reason.
Yeah, what is it? And he goes,
Yeah.
I mean, and he just looks down. I mean, and I go, "Oh, you know what? I'm not going to go in there anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay in here with the little boys."
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm Catholic.
So like Ace Ventura. Bumblebee Tina.
Yeah. Excuse me. Your balls are showing. Bumblebee tuna. It's called guano.
Guano.
But yeah, so that was a interesting story, similar to your nipple showing.
Yeah.
Well, kinda. His, you know, not his fault. That was my.
You
that was my
flashed
bad.
children, your nipples,
That was
and
my
I
bad.
flashed little Muslim kids, my peaches.
Say lovey.
Right? Come on. You got any embarrassing stories, Alex?
No, I don't show my balls to people.
They weren't people; they were kids. Keep that in mind. Clip it, George.
Fucking cut that out.
Actually,
I don't know where to go from here.
well, no, I have an interesting story.
This never happened.
When I was, this was amazing. Have you guys ever gotten in trouble with the law?
When I was in high school,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it was stupid. Mine was like,
Yeah, of course. And I was running around. I was a different person. I hadn't met my lovely wife. She's also Hungarian. So you guys can talk later. And then, he mentioned
That
Hungarian.
was the style of mustache I
Yeah.
like to
yeah, I
wear.
know.
Oh, but you're not Hungarian?
No,
No.
Ah,
I just
yeah. You're a bitch. No, I'm joking.
I'm a poser. I'm a poser.
So the interesting is I was running around doing stuff I shouldn't, and I got caught up trying to do stuff on my own instead of being with my friends when we're doing bad things. And I something goes very wrong in the process of this illegal activity, and I have to just run from the premises.
oh shit.
And as I'm sprinting, there was a gas station across the street from this place, and a guy's out on like the clerk, the guy that works there, he's on the phone. And I'm like, oh shit, this dude's calling the cops for sure. And I just run right past him, just sprint, because there's a road, and I know my buddy lives like 2 blocks down the way or something, 3 blocks.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna start sprinting. And then I see, you can tell a Crown Vic when it's coming.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can see the corner lights. You just know it, especially if you're a degenerate. And I see that, and I'm like, oh shit. And so I start pointing like towards where I came from, and I'm like, he's over there. And then I see the cop just kind of like mean mugging me as he's walking by or driving by. Like he slows down. I'm like, and so he keeps going. I'm like, oh shit. And I go full Forrest Gump, right?
Yeah.
And I see like the shrubs where my buddy's like front yard, and I dive over him like G.I. Joe. And then I just lay flat on the grass, and I'm just holding the earth. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Oh my gosh. So then I'm thinking, okay, I need to get out of here, because that guy he'll flip around or something. So I'm like, let me just sneak in. I knew that Stutter Mike, that was my buddy's name. He was like at band camp or something like that. And so I'm like, I'll just go into his basement where his room is, and I'll call because I didn't have my phone on me. I don't know where the heck it went. This is probably 2000 or something.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
2002 or something. So cell phones, you didn't pay attention to him as much.
Yeah.
So I open the window, slide into his basement where his room was and stuff like that. I get on the phone, call my friends. I'm like, hey, you gotta come pick me up. Okay, good. I'm at Mike's house. Okay, good. So I go back out there, wait for my friends to pick me up. I realize I don't have my phone, and I didn't leave it at home. I left it at the premises.
Oh,
of
no.
where I was doing bad things. So then I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? The cops are totally gonna find my phone.
Yeah.
So, and I remember that one cop saw me. Now this is Brad Pitt Bill back in the day when I didn't have the whole Caesar ring going.
Oh, okay.
I had a beautiful head of hair.
Muy guapo.
Muy guapo.
Yeah, gotcha.
I had frosted tips because
Because, well,
of course.
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
Yeah.
The dudes loved me. And so I had frosted tips, and my hair was a little bit longer at the time. So I'm like, okay, that one cop saw me. My freaking phone is at the premises. I got to change my look. But I have to also figure out, what do I do about my phone? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to say I got in a fight and it got stolen. So then I start calling my phone, and I'm blowing up, and I'm leaving voicemails. I'm like, hey, motherfucker, you stole my shit. Yeah, but I'm cussing myself out on my own voicemail. I'm like,
Right.
pick up the phone and I'll meet you. And I'm just trying to think, like, what the hell do I do? And then a cop answers, and he's like, "Who is this?" I'm like, who the fuck? I start cussing him out, like he's the guy I'm trying to find. So I cuss him out, and he's like, "No, this is Officer so and so. Where are you?" I was like, "Well, that's my phone." And he goes, "Okay, where are you?" And I give him my address. He's like, "Okay, we'll be there in probably 10 or 15 minutes. Don't change anything about how you look." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, whatever." Hang up the phone, start defecating immediately. And I'm like, well, got to do it. So I shave my head. But I don't go full buzz cut.
Right.
You know, I leave it. Fortunately, my frosted tips were about half.
Just beyond?
Yeah. So like it was easy to kind of like
Yeah.
trim up and not be too bad. Obviously change my clothes.
Right.
But when you sew a story like you got in a fight and someone stole your phone, you got to look like you got in a fight.
Oh, no.
So I proceeded to beat the shit out of myself in front of the mirror. I mean, full liar.
I'm kicking my ass.
Yeah.
Do you mind?
I started just, which is actually pretty hard to hit
It is
yourself in the
hard to
face
hit yourself.
and like cause bruising.
Yeah.
So then I start going speed back. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't do a damn thing. So then I take a water bottle with like the hard plastic or a soda, and I'm hitting myself in the face with that thing. I finally start to get like just the smallest little, which is amazing because in jiu-jitsu I feel like I'll get bruised up and I don't even know it.
Yeah.
But then I literally for 15 minutes beat the hell out of myself.
Right.
And barely caused a little bit of a mark. And then the cop comes in with two of them. And one of them was the guy that drove by.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I recognized him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit. So I'm just sitting there and I was like, yeah, so this guy, I think I know who he is. Yeah, I know him from the street racing scene. And he, this is who he hangs out with. And we just saw each other. We had some beef at the street races one time. And then he just sucker punched me. And then he stole my phone. And I don't know what happened after that. I just called it a bunch of times trying to get it back. We're at the movie theater. They're like, okay. And then I hear him talking. I was like, yeah, he's a little bit shorter than the guy I saw running away from the scene. And I'm like, I ended up getting away with it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd get caught.
Statute of limitations, I think, is gone.
Yeah, I think so.
So
I think you're fine. Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry for that or for the frosted tips?
All of it.
Okay.
I'm sorry to my wife for the frosted tips. I thought about doing those recently.
You totally should. You totally
Right?
should. Yes.
And
Absolutely.
not even doing like you could go like full M&M where you bleach the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about just doing frosted tips like on the sides and back and then letting it go brown.
Wait, but what other option do you have?
Yeah.
Well, if I did the whole thing, like I'm saying bottom of the neck to mid skull, whereas
That's
I have hair.
all you have hair. Yeah, that's
but
all
I'm
the
saying,
only option you have.
fade it.
Oh, fade it.
Because that's what you do before. Remember, you just do
Yeah,
the
yeah.
top and then
Oh,
it would go
yeah.
to like brown. I know
Yeah.
you idiots did that.
I never did
Shut
that.
up.
No, absolutely not.
You were at a Menudo concert.
Fuck, I wish. Fucking wish.
You and Ricky. So he was in Ricky Martin, right? He was in Menudo. You have a poster?
He's still alive.
I mean, he looks great, too.
Yeah, he looks great.
If I could be honest.
I don't have a poster. I had a Menudo poster.
Guarantee he had a colonoscopy.
You think?
Probably a couple, actually. Okay, sorry.
See? This is why you're going to come to every podcast before I
chilling
get
me out.
canceled.
She's chilling me out, though,
Yeah.
because there's been a couple I wanted to throw out there. But, yeah. So, a lot harder to beat the shit out of yourself than you think. Celebrate men's cancer awareness, too.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys this. So I'm committing to my colonoscopy before the end of the year. Done. All right. What are you guys committing to?
Shit. Go first.
You're
Well,
2
yeah.
years late on yours. I'm just throwing that out there.
As someone like
We should get them done at the same time in the same room.
We could get, like, the drug, the
Yes.
anesthesia together.
Yes.
But then tell them, keep it light.
Yeah. But then
You
we go
wanna
like,
hold
then
hands?
as we go in, we're like
Yes.
this.
No, like this, dude. Come on.
Yes.
We cross
Just
fingers.
go into. Right?
Why are your hands sweaty?
I don't know. You make me nervous.
frosted tips. Really, I have a thing. All right.
Like that, yeah.
That's good. When I was in Milwaukee, we got to work with the Milwaukee Admirals, who are the minor league hockey team for the Nashville Predators.
Were they like a out of Virginia before? Did they get bought? Because we had a Norfolk Admirals, and they were the fightingest motherfuckers in whatever the league they were. Anyway, sorry.
But I don't know if he was the owner or the president.
Yeah.
We got them involved in the Movember, and they let us have a booth at the home games. But for one of the home games, they changed one of the suites to a surgical suite, and he got a prostate exam in between the second and third period.
Get the hell out.
And they had the curtain, so his head was just sticking out.
Yes.
And
Good for him.
yeah.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool. Wow. Wow.
But as someone who, like I said, my father had it. That's how I got involved.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
also an uncle on my
That's awesome.
mother's side also had prostate cancer. So it's pretty much a given. I think it's a coin flip.
Well,
between my brother.
do you know that like it's literally statistically every man will get prostate cancer. If you live old enough, we're gonna get it. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like
They call it the silent killer because a lot of times when people pass away, they
Yes.
find that they
Yes.
have prostate cancer.
every
Wow.
man will literally get prostate cancer if they live old enough. It's unfortunate, but it's a real thing.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's why, especially if you do have family, obviously the chances are even higher for it to the age to be lower. So it's not that now you're going to be susceptible. It's just you're going to have to watch it even more.
Yeah.
For the age stuff so it doesn't like creep up earlier, or you catch it earlier so you can address it then.
And that's both my dad and my uncle caught it way early.
Mm.
Done really well.
And they still kicking.
Yeah.
80 years old today.
Yeah. Today.
Today, 80 years old.
Peter Opper just turned 80.
Peter Hopper.
Wait.
Eh.
Oh, not laugh.
Not the laugh.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, that's what I
That
wanted.
there. That,
I can't hear it.
No?
There it is.
there it is.
Oh, again.
No. All right, Peter Opper.
Yeah.
Love it, man.
That's
Love
cool.
it. That's cool, man.
Yeah, good for them. I mean, that's. Are they having to do any sort of lifestyle stuff that you know of?
No, my dad had he had robotic surgery, had his prostate removed.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a healthy person to begin with, and I'm sure that helped tremendously.
Yeah.
I mean, he still rides his bike. He is kind of like the tacky senior that's doing pickleball,
Sure.
but I mean, it's
He's
just
pickleballing at 80.
So hot right now.
Oh yeah,
Listen, when you're 80, there is no tacky. You know what I mean? You can do whatever the fuck you want.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
if you're playing pickleball at 80, I'm
Yeah.
totally happy for him.
Yeah.
30, I don't know, man. I can't get down with that. No.
What's that?
No.
Is there any symptoms people should know about that?
that I don't know.
What symptoms?
Symptoms, yeah.
Well,
I
I
don't-
mean,
Or how it
I don't know.
Well, I think so. Potentially, we'll have my podcast partner on.
Yeah.
Dr. Chris, and that'd be a great question. And it, maybe if Colin's, here to ask any questions or something like that, or if your listeners have any questions, he's a black belt, he's a physician, something like that would be a really good for this topic is to talk about, hey, what are some things to look at, in your own personal life, and maybe things to do or whatever.
And that's what one of the things that with my dad, because he is so proactive on his health, and he wasn't putting off the checkups that we kind of fear.
Yeah.
And that helped him tremendously.
Yeah. What about you? You put him off?
I've put him off.
What the fuck? The three of us before the end of the year. I'm serious.
End of the year,
Yeah.
November.
Yeah.
You just want to get in my butt.
I do.
Like right now? Should we
No,
just check
not
the
right
checkers?
now. Not right now. It'd be kind of weird. Be kind of weird. I wouldn't know what to look for. So,
True.
but yeah, you got to commit to it.
Better. Court low.
Gotta.
I've got warm, sweaty hands.
So
Yeah, he
bad.
does.
Clammy. A
Yeah.
little clammy.
Well, I'm a spider guard player, so you're
Are
both
you?
screwed. It's my turn.
You're not going to commit to it?
I'll commit to it.
All right, let's do it. Boom. Before the end of December. Got to
For
get
what,
those.
colonoscopy?
Yeah. Why not?
I do a colonoscopy.
Why not?
Oh.
Oh, you got to wait till January?
Yeah. But still, we can put it on paper.
Let's put it on
It
paper.
still count.
Yeah.
Right?
Still count.
Just a little bit. Yeah, I need it. We all as dudes,
We all
honestly
need it, yeah.
And that's why this subject is actually having some seriousness to it is I think is important, is because we will all kick that can right down the road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It hits you pretty hard,
Yeah.
with your family history, and you're still kicking it down the line,
Yeah.
Even myself with my mom having Crohn's and all that kind of stuff, I still kick it down the line,
50 caught up on me, dude. It just like came out of nowhere, dude. Like I'm telling you, like it happens quick. It happens.
Oh, I saw some, these like Instagram reels are like motivational and stuff like that, but I took a couple edibles, so I get really paranoid when I take edibles.
Yeah.
But I use them for sleep, and I'm looking at Instagram, and this thing goes, it's like the average 40-year-old man only has 36 more years to live. And
Yeah, it's true.
and that means
All right.
52% his life is gone, and it runs through like, what are you doing with your time, stuff like that. And I was like,
You're wasting it with me.
yeah, and I'm like 2 edibles deep, just thinking about like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So frost those tips.
Yes.
Frost those tips.
I'm happy someone's on my team, because before I thought it would only be Andrew, but I'm in the trust trade now.
Right now, yeah, I'm down.
I appreciate it.
I'm not going to frost anything, but you totally should.
You should. I mean,
I'd have to frost in black. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah, that's
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It'd
it
look
would
a little
work.
odd.
It wouldn't work out.
You look like an evil villain
I
on
would.
like a 80s movie. You guys want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
Yes.
So a Mexican, a white guy, and
No. What are you doing?
all right, never mind. That's all I got.
Oh my God. All right, Colin, just to close it out, let everybody know where they can donate to and how to donate to Movember. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Really? Really? That's how you start the joke. Oh shit.
Well, you can just go to Movember.com. You can donate them directly. You can start your own account. You can grow out your mustache for 30 days. You can commit any kind of physical activity for 30 days, walk 60 miles, come to Aries East Mesa, get 60 rounds in the
60
month
rounds,
of November,
baby.
anything. And just check out their website. It's
Do they just put your
Movember.com.
name as the recommendation? You were saying
You can look it up, Colin Opper. That's
Okay.
1L, 2P.
We should do a Movember night and just do like 2 hours of rounds.
Well, that's kind of, towards the end of the
Cool.
month, people
Yeah.
who need their
people need the rounds.
Always good to do it right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
'Cause we'll probably have an open mat
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
What if we did like a
Sunday?
4-hour open mat on Saturday?
You'll regret that.
You
for
think?
sure. 4 hours?
4-hour open mat for Movember.
just to get your rounds in?
Just get your rounds in.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be visiting.
Sweet.
Did you? Oh,
You're what?
Thanksgiving. Oh, we're going to Washington the day after Thanksgiving.
You ruin all of our fun.
Ugh.
First, you won't get your butt checked with me. And now you won't even roll with me. What is wrong with you? What kind of friend are you?
What if we bring in some doctors?
Got 2 bathrooms.
Yeah.
I'll see if
We
Chris
got-
can
we got-
fly down.
Listen,
You got a spacious office.
Chris had to do that because he was the chief medical officer in the Navy.
yeah.
So he had like a whole ship that he had
Oh, yeah.
to.
Yeah.
So he's used to it.
Yeah.
He says he does it for fun still.
He doesn't even change his glove, does he?
Oh, heck no.
Yeah.
He does it
Glove?
Yeah.
with yeah, exactly. He does it with the homeless. Actually, it's kind of a cool thing with a gospel mission
Yeah.
up there, and he'll just check homeless people's butts.
That's awesome.
He doesn't even report it.
Good for him.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I got recalled to active duty,
Mm-hmm.
they had to get us ready in like 2 seconds. Like we checked in on a Friday and we were on a plane on a Monday. So they're trying to do like medical IDs. Some people didn't even have IDs. And we go to dental and it's just this fucking asshole Navy dentist. He's just looking in our mouths like this. We're in a line and we're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, if he doesn't change his gloves, he ain't looking at my fucking mouth. I don't give a fuck. Don't send me. That's awesome, right? So he's like, one dude, like he's 2 people in front of me. And he's looking at his mouth. He's like, well, whoever did your fucking dental work before doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And the guy goes, That was you, sir. We were on the USS Seattle together. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here." He's going.
That's amazing.
Anyway, all right. If you hate the podcast, please like and subscribe. Please leave us a comment. We love the shitting on the comments episode, so we need a little ammo. Please follow us on Instagram, all the BJJ Foxcast channels, and please support our sponsor, Salt. Check them out at saltelectrolytes.com. That's with one T. There's an asshole that has Salt with two T's with a lot of marketing. Yeah, a lot of marketing dollars that gets on the top of the list. So Salt with one T, electrolytes, and use the promo code Foxcast at checkout for your 15% discount. I hope I'm right. I don't know, Riley. You'll forgive me. Thanks, guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being on the show, boys.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by BioPro Plus. BioPro Plus is the faster, easier, and safer non-synthetic alternative to painful, expensive, and invasive anti-aging hormone treatments. The growth factors in BioPro Plus have the unique ability to regulate and restart the body's natural sex hormone production, and it also assists in raising glutathione levels, improving immune response, repairing DNA, promoting enhanced protein absorption, and supporting self-differentiation and proliferation. I don't know what any of that means, but I can tell you this. I've been using this stuff for about a year, and my ability to recover is through the roof. I'm training jiu-jitsu 3 times a week. I'm lifting weights 2 times a week, and the amount of time it takes for me to recover has reduced significantly. I'm 51 years old, and as an aging grappler, I got to do everything I can to stay on the mats. So I go through a pretty regimented recovery system, and BioPro. I also use the evening version. I forget what it's called, but it's fantastic. Get this stuff. Go to www.bioproteintech.com and put the promo code Foxcast. Promo code Foxcast will get you $30 off your order. Hit them up. You won't regret it.